want to make a quick video on the T-56 swap in my 98 Cobra. This should apply to any 96, 98 Cobra. I'm gonna jump under here and kind of go through what I did, and this should help others. So I've got a cable T-56 out of a 0304 Cobra. And to get the trans physically in, I've got a Stifler's cross number. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but it's the one that's specific to this car. It's got the outboard mounting points like the older Fox bodies and not on the inside of the tunnel like the 99 to 04s. I do have a stock style but polyurethane energy suspension trans mount. And I'm also running, I can't remember the brand, but I've got the T-56 reverse lockout delete. You can see there. What that does is that just, you remove the stock reverse lockout solenoid and you swap in that piece there. And it comes with two springs. There's kind of a heavier and a lighter spring. I've got the lighter spring in there, so it's a little bit easier to get in a sixth or in reverse, but I really don't have any issues either way. It doesn't, it's difficult to get into reverse when you're moving. I mean, you would really have to try, but it's easy enough that when I'm cruising around, I can, or when I need to get in reverse, it goes in reverse pretty easy. The next thing, kind of working my way back here, is this is a factory 0304 Cobra drive shaft, and I opted to use this drive shaft because I had a Ford Racing aluminum drive shaft for the T45 before, but it's got, I believe, a 31 spline yoke in this T56. It's either got a 26 or a 28, I can't remember. Plus, as you can see here, the U-joints on the 0304 Cobra drive shaft are 1350s on the yoke side and the drive shaft side. So they're, I mean, if you see the 1330s that come in these cars stock, like on the Ford Racing drive shaft I had, it's significantly bigger, these 1350s that are currently in here on the 0304 drive shaft. So everything up here is stock 0304 Cobra drive shaft. So stock yoke and stock 1350 joints. Going back, what I did on the rear end side, let me scoot back here. So what this is the actual pinion flange is an aftermarket. I think it's a Sonax, or I can't remember the brand, but my local drive shaft shop did it. But what it is it's a 1350 U-joint on the drive shaft and the pinion flange side, but it's got the smaller pattern to work with a solid axle 8.8 than if you were to run the 0304 Cobra pinion flange. So on the 0304 Cobras, the diffs, the actual pattern of the flange on the rear end side is larger, I think, or maybe it's just a different bolt pattern than what is on these solid axle 8.8s. So this part right here, this piece is like an adapter piece that my drive shaft shop did locally. So they pulled off the stock pinion flange off this 0304 Cobra drive shaft and put this aluminum one on. The other thing you got to address is this right here is a spacer. So if you tried to use the 0304 Cobra drive shaft, there's not enough of the yoke in the trans without this spacer. I don't love this, but I haven't had any issues so far. The drive shaft's been balanced, it balances out fine. But this is kind of what you have to do here. And this allows you to keep the 1350 U-joints as well, which is I haven't, like I said, I haven't any issues. I don't know when the 1330s actually fail, but it just, the peace of mind of having the bigger U-joints is nice to have. But that's really all you need for a T-56 swap, at least this way. I mean, there's other ways you can do it in a 96 and 98 Cobra.